गीता परिवार हमारा, गीता परिवार हमारा। ईश्वर भक्ति भाव से बहती संस्कारों की धारा, भारत माँ की सेवा में गीता परिवार हमारा, गीता परिवार हमारा। संस्कृति का वैभव जग में सबसे न्यारा।
जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ, जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ।
भारतीय संस्कृति का वैभव जग में सबसे न्यारा। ज्ञान और विज्ञान यहीं से सबने पाया सारा, सबने पाया सारा। कुछ भूलों से हारा फिर से जीते देश हमारा, गीता परिवार हमारा, गीता परिवार हमारा।
जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ, जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ।
शील सेवा व्रतधारी युवा जगे पुरुषार्थी।
जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ, जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ।
त्यागशील सेवा व्रतधारी युवा जगे पुरुषार्थी। वैज्ञानिकता विनय सभ्यता स्वभाव हो निस्वार्थी, स्वभाव हो निस्वार्थी। देशभक्ति में तेजस्वी हो फिर समाज यह सारा, गीता परिवार हमारा, गीता परिवार हमारा।
जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ, जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ।
बुद्ध गगन के तारे।
जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ, जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ।
महावीर गोविंद शिवाजी बुद्ध गगन के तारे। परंपरा की पुण्य चेतना उर में हम सब धारे, उर में हम सब धारे। बाल हृदय में उसे जगाकर जगे देश यह सारा, गीता परिवार हमारा, गीता परिवार हमारा।
जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ, जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ।
समर्थ बनाओ।
जय भारत माँ जय गीता माँ, जय भारत माँ जय गीता माँ।
त्यागो सारी दुर्बलता को राष्ट्र समर्थ बनाओ। बंधु भाव समता ममता से सबको गले लगाओ, सबको गले लगाओ। चलो विवेकानंद मार्ग पर, शुभ संदेश हमारा। गीता परिवार हमारा, गीता परिवार हमारा। ईश्वर भक्ति भाव से बहती संस्कारों की धारा। भारत माँ की सेवा में गीता परिवार हमारा, गीता परिवार।
श्री गुरु चरण सरोज रज, निज मनु मुकुरु सुधारी। बरनउ रघुबर विमल जसु, जो दायकु फलचारी। बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके, सुमिरौ पवन कुमार। बल बुद्धि विद्या देहु मोहि, हरहु कलेस विकार। जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर, जय कपीसति लोक उजागर। रामदूत अतुलित बल धामा, अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत नामा। महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी, कुमति निवार सुमति के संगी। कंचन बरन विराज सुबेसा, कानन कुंडल कुंचित केसा। हाथ वज्र और ध्वजा विराजे, कांधे मूज जनेऊ साजे। शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन, तेज प्रताप महाजगवंदन। विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर, राम काज करिबे को आतुर। प्रभु चरित्र सुनिबे को रसिया, राम लखन सीता मन बसिया। सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सियहि दिखावा, विकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा। भीम रूप धरि असुर संहारे, रामचंद्र के काज सवारे। लाय सजीवन लखन जियाए, श्री रघुबीर हरषि उर लाए। रघुपति कीन्ही बहुत बड़ाई, तुम मम प्रिय भरतई सम भाई। सहस बदन तुम रोजस गावे, अस कहि श्रीपति कंठ लगावे। सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीसा, नारद सारद सहित अहिसा। जम कुबेर दिक्पाल जहाते, कवि कोविद कहि सकै कहाते। तुम उपकार सुग्रीवहि कीन्हा, राम मिलाय राजपद दीन्हा। तुम्हरो मंत्र विभीषण माना, लंकेश्वर भय सब जग जाना। जुग सहस्र जो जन पर भानु, लील्यो ताहि मधुर फल जानू। प्रभु मुद्रिका मेलि मुख माहि, जलधि लांघि गए अचरज नाही। दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते, सुगम अनुग्रह तुम्हरे तेते। राम दुआरे तुम रखवारे, होत न आज्ञा बिनु पैसारे। सब सुख लहै तुम्हारी सरना, तुम रक्षक काहू को डरना। आपन तेज सम्हारो आपे, तीनों लोक हांकते कांपे। भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवे, महावीर जब नाम सुनावे। नासै रोग हरै सब पीरा, जपत निरंतर हनुमत वीरा। संकट ते हनुमान छुड़ावे, मन क्रम वचन ध्यान जो लावे। सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा, तिनके काज सकल तुम साजा। और मनोरथ जो कोई लावे, सोई अमित जीवन फल पावे। चारों जुग परताप तुम्हारा है, प्रसिद्ध जगत उजियारा। साधु संत के तुम रखवारे, असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे। अष्ट सिद्धि नौ निधि के दाता, असवर दीन जानकी माता। राम रसायन तुम्हारे पासा, सदा रहो रघुपति के दासा। तुम्हारे भजन राम को पावे, जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावे। अंत काल रघुबर पुर जाई, जहाँ जन्म हरि भक्त कहाई। और देवता चित्त न धरई, हनुमत से सर्व सुख करई। संकट कटे मिटे सब पीरा, जो सुमिरे हनुमत बलबीरा। जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई, कृपा करहु गुरुदेव की नाई। जो सत बार पाठ कर कोई, छूट ही बंदी महासुख होई। जो यह पढ़े हनुमान चालीसा, होय सिद्धि साखी गौरीसा। तुलसीदास सदा हरि चेरा, कीजय नाथ हृदय महडेरा। पवन तनय संकट हरन, मंगल मूर्ति रूप। राम लखन सीता सहित, हृदय बसहु सुर भूप। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। उमापति महादेव की जय।
सच्चिदानन्दं वासुदेवं व्रजप्रियं धर्मसंस्थापकं वीरं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। ईश्वर भक्ति भाव से बहती संस्कारों की धारा, भारत माँ की सेवा में गीता परिवार हमारा, गीता परिवार हमारा। ईश्वर भक्ति भाव से बहती संस्कारों की धारा, भारत माँ की सेवा में गीता परिवार हमारा, गीता परिवार हमारा।
जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ, जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ।
संस्कृति का वैभव जग में सबसे न्यारा।
जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ, जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ।
भारतीय संस्कृति का वैभव जग में सबसे न्यारा।
Jai Shri Krishna everyone, a very warm welcome on this beautiful, delightful evening for yet another interpretation session of Śrīmad-Bhagavadgītā. With the blessings of our Param Pujya Guruji, we have been chosen by Krishna himself to read Geeta, teach Geeta and live Geeta. Monday to Friday, we have been reading Geeta, learning the correct pronunciation of the words spoken by Sri Bhagwan himself. By giving different sevas or spreading this awareness of Geeta Parivar and Geeta Ji, we participate in teaching Geeta. And with the efforts of Geeta Parivar, every Saturday, Sunday, we get an opportunity to hear the Vivechan and be able to live Geeta, bring Geeta Ji to our life. As it is rightly said, prayer is key to morning and bolt to the night. So we begin the session with prayer by bringing Sri Krishna himself amongst us. For opening prayer, I'm going to invite Sanjay Bhaiya. Sanjay Bhaiya is from Navi Mumbai. He's a retired professor who's inclined towards classical music and yoga. He joined Geeta Parivar in April of 2023, and immediately after his L1, he started offering his seva as technical assistant. Bhaiya currently is sadhak of L2 and is offering his seva as technical assistant. Welcome, Bhaiya. Please bring Krishna amongst us by offering the prayer to him.
Yes, Vasudeva Sutan Devam Krishna Chanu Kamsa Chanu Mardhanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnau Vande Jagadgurum Krishnau Vande Jagadgurum.
Thank you, Bhaiya. Thank you for this lovely prayer. This little guiding light of mine, I am going to let it shine. When there is light, there is hope, there is life, and there is opportunity to lead a peaceful and mindful life. For the Deep Prajalan, I am going to invite our Padmaja Didi. She is from Maharashtra and is a housewife. Didi is a Geeta Vrati who joined Geeta Parivar in 2021, and currently she is a trainer of L2 in L2 level. She's a trainer for Telugu language in L2 level. Didi, please light this deep for us.
निषिद्धैरप्येभिर्लुलितमकरन्दो मधुकरैः करैरिन्दोरन्तश्छुरित इव सम्भिन्नमुकुलः विधत्तां सिद्धिन्नो नयनसुभगामस्य सदसः प्रकीर्णः पुष्पाणां हरिचरणयोरञ्जलिरयम् शरदिन्दुनिभां शुभ्रवस्त्रैरलङ्कृतां कलहंसकृतावासां वरदां शारदां नुमः वरदां शारदां नुमः.
Thank you, Didi, for this beautiful divine darshan and this in this well-lit ambience. I am now going to invite the Vivechak, our speaker for today, our Shraddha Didi. Shraddha Didi doesn't like when I say things about her, but I can't help and do it because it is so inspiring for all of us when we say that we are not able to come to Geeta Ji because of our professional life, personal life. So I have to say this, Didi, about you. Didi is BE Electronics and a postgraduate diploma in IT System and Management. She has worked as a mobile application developer and has been team lead for over 13 years. Didi has been conducting Śrīmad-Bhagavadgītā classes at her residence in Hyderabad for more than 9 years now and is associated with Geeta Parivar since August of 2020 directly as a trainer. She is currently a trainer for L4 and also for Bhopal jail classes, and the sadhaks have completed their Pathak or Pathik exam, right? Didi is disciple of Swami Govind Dev Giriji Maharaj, and in Geeta Parivar, she is giving us seva as a trainer, examiner, vivechak, heading the monitoring team. Didi takes out time for all of us, and all her vivechans inspires us. It keeps us on the toe. Even while killing a mosquito these days, I say sorry to Didi because a natural instinct to kill the mosquito, and I remember Shraddha Didi and I say sorry to her that Didi, I'm sorry I killed it. But Didi, you have been such an inspiration. You have brought so many new things to Geeta Ji. First time Vivechan in English for us, for senior levels. First time Vivechan in English for the Nyas. We are so looking forward for you to complete the chapter 8 for us so that we can move on to the next chapter. Welcome, Didi.
Jai Shri Krishna. Actually, it's such a pleasure seeing you, and I think the mosquito of the Vivager has become more famous than anything. But it's really lovely seeing you, and it was beautiful prayer by Sanjay Bhaiya and Prarthana also beautiful prayer and beautiful deep prajalan. Pranam to all the faculty members. Before we begin with the session, let's remember Swamiji, because of whose blessings we all are here, gathered here to understand a very beautiful, very important chapter from Bhagavad Gita. Hari Om. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwaraha. Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Hadaye Paramatmane Pranatah Kleshanashaya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavatam Narayanina Swayam Vyasena Gratitam Purana Muninam Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamrita Varshinim Bhagavati Mashtadashathyayinim Amba Tvamanusandadhami Bhagavadgīte Bhavadveshini. Om Shri Gurave Namaha. Om Shri Krishnaya Namaha. Am I clearly audible? Just one.
Really loud and clear.
Okay, good. So, welcome back again for the third session of 8th chapter, the Akshara Brahma Yoga. So far in this chapter, we have seen some extremely beautiful principles. We all know that Bhagavad Gita is not just art of living in this world, but also the art of leaving the world. And in that context, we have seen some very important shlokas in this chapter. Shri Krishna has this chapter begins with some questions from Arjun, where in the previous chapter we all know Shri Krishna has used some terms, and Arjun is a very diligent Shrota. He is a diligent student. He is an active listener. He is ensuring that he understands everything that Shri Krishna is saying, and hence, for his sake and more so for our sake, he has asked some very important 7 questions to Shri Krishna, out of which we are looking at the 7th answer. Just a slight recap, we should remember what we have learned earlier. There was a very important concept that Shri Krishna had told, and we have tried to understand that in detail. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavan tyajatyante kalevaram tantame vaiti kaunteya sada tat bhava bhavitaha. Whatever is the bhav, whatever is the thought that a person has, when he's leaving this world, the same he will ultimately reach to the same thought in the next birth. This is an important principle that we have seen. And to reach an appropriate destination, Shri Krishna has also given us a very important thing to follow, that every time throughout, tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mam anusmara yudhyaja. Always try to follow me, always keep me in the thoughts. In line with this, we have also seen some very important things about how with continuous practice we can achieve this. Going through all these things, we had reached a point where we were seeing an important shloka about how we have also seen how a person can attain moksha, how he can attain freedom from the cycle of birth and death by holding his pran. The yogic kriya, Shri Krishna has explained, holding the pran at the Agnya chakra and pushing it towards the Sahasrara chakra, and the one who exits his body with this kind of yogic kriya attains liberty. Also, for those who are not in a position to do this type of kriya, Shri Krishna has told, if throughout their life they have worshipped me, remembered me with their whole heart, he himself will ensure that they get the moksha. Such beautiful bhavs, such beautiful assurances we have seen from Sri Krishna. And we were at a point where we have discussed that everything, from a small jivatma, from a small ant, from a very smallest creature in this universe, till Brahmalok, everything is going to have what? A punarjanma. Everything has a rebirth. Brahma bhuvanalloka punaravartinorjuna mamupetya tu kaunteya punarjanmana vidyate. Everything is going to come to birth. Everything is going to have a punarjanma. Sorry. The only thing, only person who is not going to come back to this world, to this Mrityulok, is the one who has united with the Sri Krishna, who has united with the Parampita Paramatma. Mamupetya kaunteya punar janmana vidyate. Now, when we see this, everything from A to Z, everything that is existing in this universe, in this creation, is going to have a rebirth. Having said this, one question comes, so even Brahmadev will have a rebirth, everything. We all know that this entire nature, entire universe, entire Srishti is created by Brahmadev. If everything is going to have a rebirth, the tenure of Brahmadev is also fixed, isn't it? This is an actual question that comes, and that has been answered in terms of a very beautiful Kala Ganana in our Vedas, in our scriptures, a very nice Kala Ganana. Kala Ganana means the calculation of the time that is existing in our Vedas is very interesting and very important. This is something our scientists are slowly trying to discover, and something worth pondering on. We will see from this shloka. Sahasra yuga paryantam aharyat brahmano viduhu ratri yuga sahasrantante ratra vido janaha. Sahasra yuga paryantam. Now here the word yug, it means a complete Mahayuga. It is also called as a Chaturyuga. So Krishna is telling here about Srishti and Pralay. So the creation and destruction of this entire universe. So Yuga, as I told you, it is a Mahayuga or the Chaturyuga, which we know it more as a Chaturyuga. What is a Chaturyuga? Now see, we have this entire 1 day, a 1 year span. We all are right now in the Dakshinayan. I hope that's what everybody knows. See, during the entire year, there is a particular period in which the sun is more prominently in the northern hemisphere. That is the Uttarayan. From Makar Sankranti, it starts. And then comes the period of Dakshinayan, when we believe that the gods have slept. The 6-month time is the Dakshinayan, where the sun is prominently in the southern hemisphere. Now, this is our 1 year. Now, if we calculate in the terms of human years, if you there are 4 lakh, after completing 4,32,000 years, human life, okay, human years of 4,32,000 years will come to one Kala Yuga. We all know Kali Yuga is one of the smallest of the 4 yugas, of the 4 yugas. Kali Yuga is 4,32,000 years. Double the number of years is Dwapar Yuga. It is 8,64,000 years. After the Dwapar Yuga is the Treta Yuga. Treta, before the Dwapar Yuga, is the Treta Yuga. See, I'm doing the counting backwards. Currently, because we are in Kali Yuga, it's easier to connect with Kali Yuga. Before that is Dwapar Yuga, 8,64,000 years. And then before that is a Treta Yuga, 17,28,000 years. And double that, 34,56,000 years is the Satyuga. The period from Satyuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, Kali Yuga together is called as Chaturyuga. The total period is 43,20,000 years. Such a huge time span. This one span of one Chaturyuga, 43,20,000 years, is 1 day of Brahma. And Simil is not 1 day of Brahma. It is one Chaturyuga. 1,000 such years. So 43,20,000 into 1,000 years. You can calculate yourself. That much span is 1 day of Brahma. Sahasra Yuga Pariyantam Aharyat. Aha is day. Aha is the daytime. So this is known as 1 day span. And same amount of time, 1000 Chatur Yugas is 1 night. Now we all have an average lifespan nowadays, around 80 years is the average lifespan of a human life. Brahmaji also has the lifespan. So I was telling you 1000 Chatur Yogas is 1 day of Brahma. 1000 Chatur Yogas is 1 day of Brahma. Another 1000 from 1 night of Brahma. Multiply that into 360. See, that becomes 1 year of Brahma. And 100 such years will be life of 1 Brahma. Beyond calculations, isn't it? That long is the time span of 1 Brahma. And then the span of 1 Brahma gets over, and there is a Mahapralaya that happens, and then a universe gets created in a new way. So imagine the vastness. What do we have to take from this? We have to understand that we are very minuscule. The earth, on this earth we live, earth is just like a dust particle in this entire Milky Way. It's like a one small speck of dust. And when we think about ourselves, we are even lesser than a speck of dust on this earth. So we have to see how minuscule our existence is in this entire universe. And this, once we understand this bigger picture, it helps us reduce our ego. Bhagavad-Gītā, by giving us this knowledge, is helping us reduce our ego. What is the ego about? See, we are so insignificant in the existing of this entire universe. So if this is how it is, Shri Krishna has explained this further. Now, one normal question that comes to a person would be, so how is this that, is everything getting destroyed when particular yuga is over? Now, there are some pralayas that are happening. For instance, we all sleep during the night. Now, whatever, suppose I have bought some groceries and slept after getting them. When I'm sleeping, this entire act of getting groceries is out of my memory. It is like a pralay. Pralay in itself means destruction or non-existence, basically. So there is a non-existence of these things, of whatever activities we have done during the night. And when we get up, it is a new day, a new thing has started, a new day has started, a new set of activities is going to start. This is our daily Nitya Pralay. Similarly, at the end of every yuga, after the end of Kali Yuga, Satya Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, Treta Yuga, all the yugas, after the end of every yuga, one Pralay will happen, and then a new yuga is going to start. During all this, there are some things which remain same, and there is some which is going to get reborn and recreated. Shri Krishna explains that avyaktat vyaktaya sarva prabhavantyah radhane ratriagame praliyante tatraiva vyakta sanjake. From some unmanifested spirit. See, what a manifestation is happening means what? The entire, from everything is getting created at the start of Brahmaji's day. When Brahmaji's day starts, the Srishti comes into existence. It stays for throughout its day, and every time a new day begins, a new world is being created. How is this world created? We have seen oceans, isn't it? When oceans are ocean, you see the waves. In the waves, the wave is being created. It comes, it is visible for some time, and then it gets dissolved into the ocean water. It is again just appearing and dissolving. So it is always existing. We cannot say that the wave, once it is gone, it has disappeared completely. It is still existing. However, its complete absence is seen. When we are, like I told you, when we are sleeping, there is a complete absence of all activities, and when we are awake, everything comes back to life. How we experience this daily. Similarly, just when the ocean is, doing its own activities, a wave is created. It's very much there when it's going back. Its presence is visible only for a certain point of time. This is how the Prakriti or the Srishti keeps showing itself in between, and then the pralay happens. Again, it shows itself, and again it dissolves and back into avyakta form. Avyakta means unmanifested, something which cannot be seen, smelled. It's something which cannot be recognized, basically. Similarly, to understand this, we can also think about some, this is a rainy season. There are these small insects that are born whose life cycle is a couple of hours. For us, there is this entire span of a day. The entire span is one day. Now, in our one day, how many life cycles is that insect going to undergo? In every 2-3 hours, we see from somewhere these insects are coming. They're living for a few hours and then they are dead. Again, they are coming. Their cycle is smaller than ours. From nowhere, this vyakta, avyakta, they are coming and going. We can see them. However, this time span is something we have to understand. When does how long this is going to go on? To understand this concept of time, we can also think of when we are thinking about the days of Brahma, and one simpler thing which can help you in good imagination is we are living on Earth. Now, before Earth, Mercury, Venus are closer to the Sun. They are rotating at a different speed. Once, for the science students, basically, one rotation around itself when the Earth is completing, it is completing one day. Now, the same day, the same span, if we go on the planet Jupiter, the day span will be so much longer, isn't it? The rotation that planet takes is going to, days are much longer on that particular planet. So on a bigger planet, it is much more bigger. Similarly, when the whole Brahmanda is revolving, the whole Brahma, the whole Srishti, the day of whole one Brahma is much longer. So if we see the day of that small insect is much smaller than what it is for us, our day it's much smaller than the one which will be on Jupiter. The one on Jupiter will be much smaller than the days that we have across the universe. So this is, and in this entire span, the Srishti is appearing and disappearing, appearing and disappearing. Further, Sri Krishna says, Bhuta Kramasya evayam bhutva bhutva praliyate ratyagame vashah partha prabhavatya haragame. What is the meaning of Bhutagrama? Bhutagrama is the multitude of beings around. So many things are being created, born again and again. Bhutva bhutva praliyate. They are coming and again getting dissolved, coming and again getting dissolved. And this Ratriagame Vashah Partha Prabhavatya Haragame. Sometimes we feel, what is this? It is a continuous cycle. Why should this happen? This is a continuous cycle that is happening. It is avashaha. It is beyond the control of anybody. Certain times, you see, it is a nature of waves to come and go, come and go. Can we stop it? Can anything stop it? No, it is the nature. It is something uncontrollable. Similarly, this entire cycle of creation and dissolution is what it is going to be. A natural thing. There is no control over it, and what will happen? The coming and going, it is going to be a natural thing. However, when this is happening naturally, there is one thing that is going to remain subtle, and it is going to remain constant. There is a certain thing which is always going to remain constant in this. In its avyakta, unmanifested form, one thing is going to remain constant. How is that possible? We'll see. This is explained in the next shloka. Parastasmatu bhavonyo vyakto vyaktat sanatanaha yasta sarveshu bhuteshu nashyatsu na vinashyati. In all this entire process of creation and dissolution. Tasmatu anyah bhava. There is another another is existing subtle spirit which comes into existence, and it is not showing off, but there is one particular unmanifested spirit which is never getting destroyed in this entire process. Beyond this manifestation and unmanifestation, there is something eternal which is never going to get destroyed. For instance, now we know the nature of water. How is water? Water is going to be present everywhere. Water is, so when the temperature reduces, we all know that water gets solidified in the form of ice. Can we deny the presence of water in ice? No. When the temperature is increased, the water gets liquefied, it starts flowing. The water is still very much present, isn't it? So the water is still there. It is in a different form. If the temperature is increased further, it will convert into water vapor, and the water's existence is very much there. So throughout this entire cycle, the presence of that H2O within the water is never going to, you cannot deny that in Avyakta form, in some or the other form, but that particular form of water, that particular presence of water is always going to be there. That is always going to remain constant. So similarly, in this entire process of creation and destruction, there is this one eternal form which is always going to be present. Even in Brahmaji's night, it is not getting dissolved. Even during during the Brahmaji's day, when the new world is created, its creation is its presence is going to be the basis of the entire creation. Water in the waves, as we saw, what the waves are created, destroyed, but the ocean remains the same. Everything is again going to remain the same. When we see ornaments are made of gold. Now these ornaments, when the ornaments are melted, gold is formed. The presence of gold is always there. The ornaments are getting destroyed. The gold remains the same. It takes a new form in the form of a new ornament. A new ornament is created, but the gold remains the same. There is this one bhav which is always going to remain eternal, and it is going to be responsible for the creation of what? A new creation. There is one book by Tilak ji, when he was in jail, he had written a book called Geeta Rahasya. It's a very beautiful book, and when he wrote them on some papers, and when he came out of the jail, the papers were not in a readable form. They're all destroyed. He recreated it. He rewrote the entire book. Why? Because the emotions with which he had written it, the emotions around it were not destroyed. What he said after coming out, no matter what is, if the paper is not there, the bhav, the essence, the spirit which has caused me to write those letters, to write those chapters, is still within me, so I can comfortably still write it. And he has written the book again after coming from the prison. So the emotions which gave rise to the book remain. Whether the book remains or not, the emotions were there and were responsible for the creation of the book again. So this is the eternal tattva. This is the eternal bhav, eternal tattva, which is going to remain. Now, what is this eternal tattva? That we have to understand. Avyakto kshara ityuktastamahu paramangatim yam prapyana nivartanti tathama paramam mama. What is this eternal tattva, eternal substance that we all are talking about? This eternal thing which is always going to remain. What is it? It is a avyakta form, avyakta means unmanifested. And it is known by which name? Atyukta, akshara ityukta. Akshara iti uktaha. Akshara means imperishable. We have seen this. Kshara is something which is perishable, which can get destroyed, like perishable things. We get food items, everything. After a certain time, these are all going to get destroyed. But there is Akshara form. It is not going to get destroyed. Water, if you keep it for some time, it is not going to get destroyed by itself unless some impurities are added to it. It is akshara. Akshara is something, it is imperishable. And this avyakta form, this unmanifested form that we are talking about, is also known as what? It is also known as akshara. Tamahu paramangat yam prapyana nivartante tathama paramam. Now this tattva that we are talking about, it is not having any vyakta form. It is called avyakta. Avyakta, as I told you, is something which is formless or not in a definite form, and it is also called akshara. Tam ahaha paramangatim means what? Tam ahuhu paramangatim. This means it is the ultimate goal. Attaining this ultimate goal, attaining this akshara form, this imperishable form, is the ultimate goal of this human birth. We have to understand this, that no matter which yoni a person is born in, if a atma is born in any other yoni except the Manushya yoni, there is no scope of getting all this knowledge. We should understand what is the ultimate motive of us being born in the human form. In any other yoni, this knowledge is not going to come. In any other yoni, this entire experience of God is not going to come. See, there are exceptions to everything. So there are exceptions. If somebody has done a lot of punya, has done a lot of meditation, lot of penance, then there are exceptions to this. However, all other yonis, all other species are there to, in which you are going to get the fruits of what we have done in the human form. Whatever actions are done in the human form, if the actions are good, we get the human form again. However, whatever actions are there, based on our actions, the birth is also going to be a little different. We can be formed in any yonis. So we have to make the best of what we have. We have to make the best of, we have to take out the best from our human form. And that is, we have to first understand what is our ultimate goal. The ultimate goal is to understand this Param Tattva, this imperishable form. And how is this imperishable Akshara form? How is this imperishable Akshara Tattva, the Brahma Tattva? It is the one, once the state or knowledge of this is attained, there is no coming back. Yam prapyana nivartante tadhama paramam mama, tadhama paramam mama. Any shelter, any place of residence, any abode will have a restricted time, a definite time. However, a person, when he attains this particular abode, when he attains this particular state, there is no returning back. Yam prapya na nivartante. Nivartante means no return. No return after reaching this one destination. When a person thinks about, there is no going back, having reached this, there is no return. Now, some people might always think, so how long that will take? In regard to this, there is a small anecdote which is worth sharing. Once there were two students. They both were told by their gurus, see, you have to do certain amount of penance, certain amount of tap, meditation, puja you have to do, and you both will attain moksha. You both can attain it. But you have to do it with full integrity. Now, once when they were meditating under a very nice tree, they both were meditating. And the guru came there and saw these two students meditating. One of them realized, oh, my guru has come. He opened his eyes and said, I hope I'm on the right path. Guru said, yes, you are on the right path. Says, okay, when will I attain moksha? When will I attain that Brahma Tattva knowledge which you are telling me about? When will I attain all this? So the Guru said, okay, do you see how many this tree? He said, yes. Do you know how many leaves are there on this tree? He says, no idea. There are too many to count. He says, that many janma, that many births you will take to understand the real sense of Brahma, to attain the knowledge of that Brahma. And this student got boggled. Oh God, that long? Okay. And he was a little shaky about what he is doing. The second student also opened his eyes. He was very happy to see his guru. He did pranam and asked, I hope I'm on the right path. Will I get moksha? Guru said, yes, you will definitely get moksha. He said, when will I get moksha? Same answer Guru gave. You see the number of trees? You see the number of leaves on this tree? He says, yes, that many births you have to take to get freedom. That many births you have to take to understand the Brahma Tattva. If this is how long, this is how much time it is going to take. The other student said, okay, but after these many births, pakka I will get moksha. Are you sure I'm going to understand Brahma Tattva? He said, yes, you will understand, but so many births. He said, no problem. As long as I'm going to get it, I'm going to follow this path. No matter how, we cannot predict, but ultimate motive should be clear. How much time it will take, when it will happen, that is something not in our hands. It is, we have to focus on our actions of trying to attain this. And once that is attained, we have to understand that there is no return, there is no coming back. For instance, we all know everybody is fond of eating ghee. It is made from what? Milk. Milk to curd, curd to butter, butter to ghee. This is the process. Once the milk has turned into the form of ghee, there is no returning back to the form of milk. Curd, it can become charged, liquid, everything. But once it is ghee, it has no necessity. It becomes so priceless. It has no need to return to the form of milk. Once human being understands that this Brahma Tattva is present in him, so when he is present, when this power is present in him, when he understands it, experiences it, and lives life in accordance to it, there is no returning back in this body. Further, Shri Krishna says, Purushasta parah partha bhaktya labhyastvananyaya yasyantasthani bhutani yena sarvamidam tatam. How is this supreme form? How is the supreme form attained? Purushassa parah partha bhaktya labhyastvananyaya. It is Purushassa parah partha, this supreme abode, the supreme power, the supreme place is attained by what? It is obtained by what? By having an unswearing devotion towards the God. Unswearing devotion means unshaking devotion. No other thing. See, there are two ways of looking at this. Bhaktya labhyastvananyaya. Ananya bhakti. Some people misunderstand this in a way. Ananya means, suppose I like Shri Krishna and I will say, apart from Krishna, there is no other bhakti worth doing. This is a wrong interpretation. This is not what Shri Krishna means here. Apart from Krishna, there is nothing else. Doesn't mean that doing bhakti of other gods is incorrect or not supported. This is a very misunderstood phrase here. Ananya bhakti means of all that I want is my God. All that I want is the one Shri Krishna alone. However, it does not mean that I am not respectful towards others. Somebody might have faith in Shivji. Whatever form the person is worshipping God in, it is okay. But how should the bhakti be? The bhakti has to be Ananya bhakti. It is not that the God is Ananya. The God is the God whom you have faith in. Now, how should your bhakti be? It should be Ananya Bhakti. Means apart from Shri Krishna, nothing else that is there for me. Whatever I am doing is for the is for Shri Krishna. Whatever I am doing, whatever is my entire birth is dedicated for what? Whom? Shri Krishna. So how to understand this? See, suppose a mother and a child, they have gone to a fair. There are these melas, fairs, where people end up buying things. There are these rides, enjoyable rides, and ice cream parlors, small stalls are there. Now, once these two, mother and child, they both went to this fair, and they were enjoying. While looking here and there, this child got lost and he got engrossed in one of the rides and in one of the shops. He forgot, he accidentally left the hand of his mother. He left the hand, the mother also kept walking. She was also looking at her stalls of different types of things. And after some time, this child almost remembered, oh, my mother is missing. I don't see her anywhere around me. And slowly he's looking here and there. When he noticed that the mother is nowhere, he started crying. And then the people around, a nice city, good people, they started, okay, you take this chocolate, be happy for some time. He saw, okay, little bit, maybe I'll eat the chocolate. In the meantime, my mother will come. Still not there, started crying again. Then some people offered him toys, and still for some time people could engage him in these small things. They have toffees, have snacks, have toys, have other things. For some time this kind of engagement worked, but after some time it was not stoppable. This child started crying, no, now everything is done, I don't want anything, I just want my mother. No matter what, no, I don't want to eat anything, I don't want to play with anything. Only thing I want now is my mother, and that is Ananya Bhakti. The only thing that matters to me in my life is my God, is my Shri Krishna. That is Ananya Bhakti. So by this kind of Ananya Bhakti, this kind of unswearing devotion towards God, this type of undwelling faith towards God, we can attain that Parabrahma form. And how is it? Yena sarvamidam tatam. How is this param form? There are two characteristics of this Brahma that are explained here. Yasyantasthani bhutani yena sarvamidam tatam. Yasya antasthani. Inside this, this form is dwelling within each one of us. This Brahma Tattva is within each one of us. This Jyoti is within each one of us. However, though it is within each one of us, it is something that is holding everything together. Everything that is it is holding everything together. So it's how the sun is holding the entire solar system around himself with some invisible force. Similarly, this Brahma Tattva is holding the entire universe together. How is the mud? Mud is also inside the pot. When a pot is created, a mud pot is created, the mud is also inside the pot. It is also holding the pot together. This Brahma Tattva is within us and also holding the entire universe. It is encompassing everything around us. Yatra kali tvanavrittim mavrittim shaiva yoginaham prayatayanti tankalam vakshami bharatarshapha. Now, when wherever yatra kali tvanavrittim. Now we are all we are in this chapter. We are discussing about the going and returning back to this world. Liberation from this worldly whatever srishti we see around us, and coming back to it. What is happening? One birth taken, in now in this birth I'm Shraddha, next birth I don't know what I'll be, previous birth I have no memory what I was. This entire cycle of going and coming into this Mritti Lok, how is this? Yatra Kali tu yatra kale tu anavrittim avrittim cha eva yoginah. What happens? There are two paths where here which are being described by Shri Krishna. There are two paths in which in way the body Jivatma will be exiting from a body. One is in which they will come back, and another one is one there. The second path is the one in once they are on this path, there is no returning back. So two ways of exiting the body. There are two ways of exiting the body. In one, once the Jivatma has exited the body, he will return. It will return back in this Mrityulok, Swargalok, Devlok, whichever. Here it is not about a particular. It is just mentioning a return into whichever lok, but a return is happening. And another one is on the path of liberation where it is not returning. And here this description, one very important thing, it is mentioned about yoginah. It is not about the normal people, okay, who are committing sins and coming back. They have to come back, absolutely no doubts about that. Here we are talking about yoginah. Yoginah means the righteous person who have done tap and everything throughout their life. So even for them, there are these two paths. It's not only about a normal person who has no knowledge of scriptures, who has no knowledge of this birth and death. That category is not being discussed here. Even a yogin, even a yogi has these two ways. And these two ways are. This is not only for the non-sadhaks, here it is for yogi. Prayata yanti tankalam vakshami Bharatarshava. He is telling vakshami means I will tell you, Bharatarshava, the best amongst the Bharat dynasty. I will explain you these two paths. How these are dependent on how the body, how the Jivatma, what time the Jivatma is exiting from the body. So amongst the sadhaks also, depending on how at what time the Jivatma is exiting from the body, the person will either return back, the Jivatma will either return back, or he will attain the liberation. Now, this is what Shri Krishna is going to advise. In this upcoming verse, Shri Krishna describes the first one, the path for the yogis, ascetics who depart never to return back. Agnirjyotiraha shukla shanmasa uttarayanam tatra prayata gacchanti brahma vido janaha. Now there are two ways in which we have to understand these two shlokas, this and the next one also. Dhumo ratris tatha krishna shanmasa dakshinayanam tatra chandrama sanjyotir yogi prapya nivartate. There are two different essence to these two shlokas. There are two different ways in which we have to understand them. One is the literal translation of these shlokas. Both literally, if we translate these two, we have to understand the literal translation of these two. And one is a little more good, a little more deep meaning to the emotional mental state of the sadhaks. Both are related to the sadhaks only. Both the states we will try to understand. The first one, in which Shri Krishna says that there is no return into this Mrityulok, is Agnirjyotiraha shukla shanmasa uttarayanam tatra prayata gacchanti brahma vido janaha. When a body is left behind, it is considered that it is beneficial, or the time is auspicious when it is Uttarayan, that time starting from Makar Sankranti till the Devashayani, where the gods will go to sleep, the brighter time. Okay, this is considered, the days are longer during this time of the year. So this time is the Uttarayan, when the sun is in the northern hemisphere. It is considered beneficial, it is considered more auspicious when the body is being left behind by the Jivatma during the Uttarayan. Simply so because it is also God's daytime. And what else is there? Agni, Jyoti, Ahaha. These are the different things. Agni means fire around, Jyoti, Raha, Ahaha means daytime, Shukla Paksha. Even in the span of this 30 days of a month, there is a span of fortnight, 15 days, which is the waxing phase of the moon. Waxing phases from Amavasya till the waxing phase. The first 15 days from Amavasya till the Purnima, then from Purnima back to Amavasya, that is the waning phase when the moon is becoming small. From the no moon till the full moon, when the moon is becoming bigger, that is the Shukla Paksha. That is called as what? The Shukla Paksha. During that time, during a daytime, when there is light around, and in the Uttarayan, that is in the when the days are longer, the period of the year when the days are longer, at that point, if some Jivatma leaves the body, then he attains what? The Brahma state. That is what is believed. This is the literal translation of the shloka. It also means that this also reflects a state of the mental state of the sadhak, that when he is in a jagrut state, when his intellect is enlightened, if a person's jivatma, if a person's soul is leaving the body at a time when he is in an enlightened state. What does an enlightened state mean? Enlightened state means being his mind is focused on whom? On God. The mind is focused on a brighter side, on his thoughts are positive, his thoughts are spiritual in nature. When there is an awakening that has happened, during the time of awakening, if the body is leaving this soul, the soul is leaving the body, when the soul is leaving the body during the awakened time of the thing, he will attain what? The Brahma. And if it is exactly opposite of this, Dhumo ratris tatha krishnash shanmasa dakshinayanam tatra chandrama sanjyote yogi prapya nivartate. How is this other time? It is night. And what else? It is a night time. It is Ratri. Krishna Paksha is starting from what? It is starting from the Purnima till the Amavasya. That is from the full moon till what? The no moon time. This 15 days span is known as what? The Krishna Paksha. And in this Krishna Paksha, if a body is leaving, this is Tandramasa in Jyotir. Tandramasa means the lunar cycle. When this type of time is there, yogi prapya nivartate. Where will a yogi reach? He will be returning back to the world. He will be returning back to this materialistic world. Now, these both the paths. Now, again, here also, this was the literal translation of this shloka. The deeper translation of this shloka is what? Dhumo, Ratris, Tatha, Krishna Paksha. All these are indicative of what? A pessimistic lookout of the mind. If he's still, under the influence of Moha, Maya, all the other disorders on the spiritual path, if a sadhak is under the influence of these things, he will be in the Krishna Paksha. This kind of path will be Krishna, and he will have to return back to the materialistic world. So these are also indicative of what? The pessimistic or the negative things of the sadhak side. And Shukla Krishna gati hete jagatah shashvate mate ekaya yatyanavrite manyaya vartate punaham. What does it indicate? Shukla Krishna gati hete. These two paths that we are talking about, these two paths are both the paths are referred to as what? One is referred to as the Shukla Marga, Shukla path, and the Krishna Marga, that is the Pitruyan, wherein we are one path in which there is a liberation, that is a Shukla Marga, that is a Devyan Marga, that is the one which is leading you to liberation. And the second one is Krishna Marga. Krishna means the Pitruyan, wherein it is coming back, the Jivatma is coming back to what? It is coming back to this materialistic world. Ekaya yatyanavrate manyaya vartate punaham. In one of them, in the Shukla Marga, there is no returning back, and in the Krishna Marga, there is a return back to this world again. But a good sadhak, what are the qualities of a good sadhak? See, I was telling about the story of these two students. One who says, if I'm going to take so many birds, it was becoming a burden. When the Guru says so many birds you will need, as many leaves are there on this tree, that many birds you will have to take to attain this, he was a little apprehensive. However, the second one immediately said, okay, but after so many birds, I'm going to get liberation. If that is on the Krishna Marga also, after so many birds, if I'm going to get it, I will follow it. That essence is coming in the next shloka also. Naite sriti parthajanan yogi muhyati kaschanam tasmat sarveshu kaleshu yoga yukto bhavarjanam. Naite sriti parthajanan, na ete sriti parthajanan. Now a person, a yogi mahyati kaschana, a yogi will not get, the second student who, irrespective of knowing that he will have to take so many births, ultimately he is going to get liberation. Ultimately he is going to attain that Brahmanyan. Okay, I'm ready to go ahead and do this, follow on this path. So a real yogi is going to what? Continue on this path, irrespective of anything. He is not going to be deluded. He is not going to, na mahiyati, yogi, na mahiyati. He is not going to get deluded that, okay, it's going to take so long. No matter which path he is on, he is not going to get deluded. This return is not going to make any difference to him. So, and how is that yogi? This, no matter which path they are on, a real yogi will not worry about that. He will continue his sadhana, and they will come and go without worrying about anything in all times. And how to attain that state where you are not affected by which path you are on, not being affected by coming back to this world. And for that, what is, how do we attain that state? By tasmat sarveshu kaleshu yoga yukto bhavarjuna. Be how? Steadfast in yoga, always immersed in yoga, always keeping an ultimate motive in the mind. As I told you, the ultimate motive of this human form is what? Attaining God. Keeping that ultimate motive always in our mind, we have to continue on our journey. In the 6th chapter also, Shri Krishna has said the same thing. Tasmad yogi bhavarjuna. What is this yoga? Yoga is a shastra. Bhagavad Gita is what? Yoga shastra. We keep saying, isn't it? Yoga shastra, Brahma Vidyayam, Yoga shastra. It is a shastra. What is this shastra? Shastra, it's a science. A means of, it is something that explains the principles of achieving something, is explained in what? In shastra. So this entire Bhagavad Gita is a shastra to achieve what? This ultimate liberation. In Bhagavad Gita, we see Jnana Yoga, Karma Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, everything, Ashtanga Yoga, how to have the Dhyan Sadhana in the 6th chapter, everything along with Bhakti, the Bhakti Yoga. See, it is like, no matter what you eat, if it is a normal food with little salt only, it is going to taste appropriate. No matter which yoga you are following, with bhakti, it has to come. Everything has to have an essence of bhakti in it. So, whichever marg you are following, throughout, what is the meaning of this yoga? Yoga means being connected to God, being in touch with God. See, there are two ways. When a child is walking, and the mother will, there is a way, the child will want to hold the mother's hand. But which is a more safer thing, the child holding the mother's hand, or the child will say, Mama, hold my hand, and you walk, because they know that the grip of mother is so nice. The grip of the mother will not let the child get lost. So we are trying to hold the hands of God. Let God hold our hands. Tasmat, so let yoga yukto bhavarjuna. Let God be the steerer of our lives. Entirely be in full connection with the God, and that's how we should always be, throughout connected with the God, always in keeping Him in our thoughts. And when we keep Him in our thoughts, He automatically keeps us in His thoughts. See, Sri Krishna always he has said, you remember me, Anusmara. He has not said Smara. It is Anusmara, means I am thinking about you. Shri Krishna has, this is word used by Shri Krishna, Mam Anusmara. I am remembering you. You Anusmara me. We do Pathan in class, and there is Anu Pathan. Means the teacher is saying and then you are repeating. So here when Shri Krishna says Anusmara, means he is remembering you, remember me back. Such a beautiful word. In this chapter only this is said by Shri Krishna. So we have to give our hand to Shri Krishna. Never leave him. What happens if we are on this journey on achieving the Brahma? This is a very big goal which we know is going to come after so many births. We know this. How we'll for sometimes 15-20 minutes thought about Shri Krishna, that is enough now. Let me enjoy party and then come back again 15 minutes every day. Shri Krishna says, Sarveshu Kaleshu. Try to do it throughout, always connected. This is like, suppose you are walking towards your destination. If there is a race and two people are running towards the final destination, one person goes few steps, stops, looks here and there, again runs, again stops, he looks here and there. And there is another one, another yogi, another runner who is continuously, steadily moving towards his destination, not waiting, looking here and there and running in the race. Who is going to certainly reach the destination and quicker also is the one who is going to in a steadfast way walk towards his destination. Similarly, if we keep Shri Krishna in our thoughts, we are steadfastly walking towards our destination. For some time connected, then disconnected, looking here and there, enjoying the world, and again walking, we are going to slow down our own pace. We are going to get deviated from our own destination. And in the end, after telling all the merits of yoga, being a yogi so far, Shri Krishna is further emphasizing on the merits. Vedeshu yagneshu tapassu chaiva daneshu yat punya phalam pradishtam atyeti tat sarvamidam viditva yogi param sthanam upaiti chatyam. Whatever fruits we get by following these righteous different things, rituals explained in our scriptures and Vedas, there are different sacrifices, different worshipping methods, there are different merits that are being described. Yagnya, Tapa, Dan, everything we have seen how elaborate everything is. All these austerities are going to have very important fruits. All these things of following all these righteous deeds, all these rituals is very pious. We have to attain all these. We have to do all these, and whatever fruits are going to come, all these are known to be, coming and going. These fruits are whatever fruits are going to come, whatever we are going to get as a merit, is not shashwat, means it is not going to stay forever. Once it is there, then you have to do more good deeds to earn more of it. However, being a yogi, what happens? Yogi param sthanam upaiti chatyam. No matter what, if you are a yogi, you will attain what? This param sthana. Param sthana is a permanent abode, a permanent abode with Shri Krishna, a permanent abode from where there is no coming back. There is no coming back to this world, and there is no need for any other meditation, no other deeds will be required. Now, does that mean we should stop doing all these things? Vedeshu, Yagneshu, Tapasu, Chaiva, if all these studying these Vedas, Adhyayan, in this Yagna, everything, it's not going to, it's less valuable than being a yogi, then why do all this? Let me be a yogi. This is like a small nursery child saying, when I grow up, I want to become a doctor. And immediately after nursery, his parents cannot put him in the medical college, isn't it? It has to be a gradual process. The process of becoming a yogi starts from these righteous deeds, from these deeds of doing Veda Adhyayan. What does Veda Adhyayan means? Adhyayan means studies of Vedas, Shastras. We all are already on the path. We all are trying to understand Bhagavad Gītā. Learning all these, and just trying to understand these Vedas, doing different types of yajna. Now, by yajna, it doesn't only mean the one where you lit the fire and give ahuti. Even our actions are yajna. We have seen this separately, karma. And what we offer in this karma yajna? Good deeds. Doing good deeds is also yajna. There is a very interesting thing that Swamiji always tells, yajna mai jivan. In that he has told in Bhagavad Gītā also, there are different types of yajna that are being told. This is a topic of exploration, a very deep topic. So performing different types of yajna, not only by the fire, but also in your actions. Yajna, tapa, dan, charity, different type of charity. Our Geeta Parivar volunteers are doing charity of their time, of their knowledge, of their shrama, of their work. Different types of dan. So it is not only, the charity is not only in terms of money. There are different types of charity that can be done. All these things should be done. Then only a person can become a yogi, and whatever fruits a person gets by doing all these righteous deeds prescribed by our scriptures, these are still going to be little lesser than what a yogi is going to get. Why so? That question will also come, because yogi is how sarva bhuta hite rataha. He is continuously thinking about benefit of others. All these righteous deeds are done for what? For the bigger benefit of the society, for bigger benefit of people around us, for bigger benefit of all species, all creations in the universe. And a yogi is constantly thinking about this. Sarva bhuta hite rataha. His actions are always dedicated to that. Hence, being a yogi is going to give what? A imperishable, a constant abode that is in unison with Sri Krishna. On that beautiful note, this chapter comes to an end. Om Tat Saditi Śrīmad-Bhagavadgītā Upanishatsu Brahma Vidyāyā Yoga Shastre Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Akshara Brahma Yogo Nama Ashtamo Dhyayaha. So with whatever little I could explain, this chapter needs lot of vivid imagination, lot of study to be able to inculcate it and understood in complete sense. So let us pray at the feet of Swami Govind Dev Giriji Maharaj and Shri Krishna, and offer this entire discourse at their feet and seek blessings to understand this in more detail every time. Hari Om Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. Hari Om Tat Sat. Thank you everybody for the patient listening.
Thank you, Didi. Thank you, Sadhaks. And thank you, Didi. You could just go on and on in your sweet voice, and we could go on and on listening to it. Geeta is not just about living life, it's also about leaving life. That is beautiful wordplay that you have, and that's the takeaway for me today personally. I'm sure all of us have many such takeaways, whether it is the example of the two yogis praying and listening to their guru, or any other example that you give. Anybody who has a question, please raise your hand and start your video so that Didi can take your question. It was indeed a very, very wonderful Vivechan Sarojini ji. We all reciprocate this feeling for Didi. And Didi explains so well that all of us are reeling under your effect and nobody raises their hand to ask question. And even when we ask questions, we ask some very silly questions when it comes to Geeta ji. Something like
questions
that.
are silly.
Like I told, we ask questions: is killing of the ant during puja, is killing of a mosquito during?
They are cute questions, see, because
They are
they
very
help
cute
us
questions that
understand.
keep
They help us
reminding us of you.
understand, and actually, unless we focus on these small activities of daily life, we are not going to get, directly, as I told you, from nursery child cannot become a doctor, no? So everything has to start from something very basic. So no question is silly. Every
Yes,
question is highly respectable.
you are in my heart and in my mind because of this all the time. Thank you so much. I could just go on and on about you, but I'll bring myself to stop here since nobody has any question. I'll take this opportunity to thank the entire technical team who works behind the scene to make this Vivechan happen. I would thank all the sadhaks who give us opportunity to serve them and to serve Krishna in them and bring Geeta ji to their life. I would thank Deepak Bhaiya and Paushali Didi for the technical support that they have given us. And on this note, I am going to invite Paushali Didi for the closing prayer. Paushali Didi is from Kolkata and she is IT engineer. She joined Geeta Parivar in May of 2021 and has been giving seva in several departments. She is a L4 trainer. She is the leader for Bangla Vivechan team. She's also the, like I told you, she is the technical, she's into Vivechan technical team and into calling and adding teams. She just gives so much seva and we are honored that she is going to offer this entire session to the lotus feet of Lord Krishna for all of us. And this is Akshar Brahma. As I said, as Didi said in the beginning, it tells us about art of living and about leaving this world. Thank you, Didi. Thank you, Paushali Didi. Welcome for the closing prayer.
Yes. Yogesham Satchidananda Vasudeva Rajapriyam Dharma Samstapakam Veera Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Shri Krishna Vande Jagadgurum.
Beautiful, Paushali ji. Pranam to all the seva that you are giving in Geeta Parivar. Very nice, beautiful.
Thank you so much, Didi. Now, I must reinforce the fact that our Param Puji Guruji has taken this sankalp of completing Shatkoti Hanuman Chalisa and offering it to the lotus feet of Sri Ram when he is brought to his birth place, Ayodhya, in January of next year. So I would request Deepak Bhaiya to play the Hanuman Chalisa for us, and all of us can stay in mute and recite the Hanuman Chalisa together.
And in the meantime, if there are questions, you can still raise your hand.
Yes, please. If Sarojini Didi has raised her hand, but let's do the Hanuman Chalisa and then start with the question.
Anything. Okay, stop. Okay, Sarojini Didi. Maybe we
No.
can teach her.
I just wanted to, because you all told about the Hanuman Chalisa, I was actually till now doing more than 9 times per day, sometimes much more, and I've come to 1196 so far. But what happened is from 14th, I'm not getting that video, and I've raised that point, but till now I've not been able to start. So I want to inform you all. I'm not able to get the video and the audio also. From 2 days, today third day.
Ram Pratishtha app, you mean?
That app, Didi? Are you talking about the app?
Yes, about the app. So can I restart? Then maybe I was wondering whether I should restart. Again, shall I join?
You can
Will my
join
count-
and you can, whatever is your original count, you can put that. Already 1196 you have completed.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, you can put that and start.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. That's what I wanted to ask.
I think we can proceed to
Yeah, Bhaiya, we can restart the Hanuman Chalisa.
श्री गुरु चरण सरोज रज निज मनु मुकुरु सुधारी बरनउ रघुबर बिमल जसु जो दायक फलचारी। बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके सुमिरो पवन कुमार। बल बुद्धि विद्या देहु मोहि हरहु कलेस विकार। जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर। जय कपीसति लोक उजागर। रामदूत अतुलित बल धामा। अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत नामा। महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी। कुमति निवार सुमति के संगी। कंचन बरन विराज सुबेसा। कानन कुंडल कुंचित केसा। हाथ वज्र और ध्वजा विराजे। कांधे मूज जनेऊ साजे। शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन। तेज प्रताप महाजगवंदन। विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर। राम काज करिबे को आतुर। प्रभु चरित्र सुनिबे को रसिया। राम लखन सीता मन बसिया। सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सियहि दिखावा। विकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा। भीम रूप धरि असुर संहारे। रामचंद्र के काज संवारे। लाय सजीवन लखन जियाए। श्री रघुबीर हरषि उर लाए। रघुपति कीन्ही बहुत बड़ाई। तुम मम प्रिय भरतहि सम भाई। सहस बदन तुम रोजस गावे। अस कहि श्रीपति कंठ लगावे। सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीसा। नारद सारद सहित अहिसा। जम कुबेर दिक्पाल जहाते। कवि कोविद कहि सकै कहाते। तुम उपकार सुग्रीवहि कीन्हा। राम मिलाय राजपद दीन्हा। तुम्हरो मंत्र विभीषण माना। लंकेश्वर भय सब जग जाना। जुग सहस्र जो जन पर भानु। लील्योताहि मधुर फल जानू। प्रभु मुद्रिका मेलि मुख माहि। जलधि लांघि गए अचरज नाही। दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते। सुगम अनुग्रह तुम्हरे तेते। राम दुआरे तुम रखवारे। होत न आज्ञा बिनु पैसारे। सब सुख लहै तुम्हारी सरना। तुम रक्षक काहू को डरना। आपन तेज संहारो आपे। तीनों लोक हांकते कांपे। भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवे। महावीर जब नाम सुनावे। नासै रोग हरै सब पीरा। जपत निरंतर हनुमत वीरा। संकट ते हनुमान छुड़ावे। मन क्रम वचन ध्यान जो लावे। सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा। तिनके काज सकल तुम साजा। और मनोरथ जो कोई लावे। सोई अमित जीवन फल पावे। चारों जुग पर ताप तुम्हारा है। प्रसिद्ध जगत उजियारा। साधु संत के तुम रखवारे। असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे। अष्ट सिद्धि नौ निधि के दाता। असवर दीन जानकी माता। राम रसायन तुम्हारे पासा। सदा रहो रघुपति के दासा। तुम्हारे भजन राम को पावे। जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावे। अंत काल रघुबर पुर जाई। जहाँ जन्म हरि भक्त कहाई। और देवता चित्तन धरई। हनुमत से सर्व सुख करई। संकट कटे मिटे सब पीरा। जो सुमिरे हनुमत बलबीरा। जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई। कृपा करहु गुरुदेव की नाई। जो सत बार पाठ कर कोई। छूट ही बंदी महासुख होई। जो यह पढ़े हनुमान चालीसा। होय सिद्धि साखी गौरीसा। तुलसीदास सदा हरि चेरा। कीजय नाथ हृदय महडेरा। पवन तनय संकट हरन। मंगल मूर्ति रूप। राम लखन सीता सहित। हृदय बसहु सुर भूप। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय। पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। उमापति महादेव की जय।
Jai Shri Ram, Jai Hanuman. Thank you so very much, Didi. Let us hope that even during Dakshinayan, our movement will always be Uttarayan. She gave a new meaning to these words, Dakshinayan and Uttarayan. Thank you, Didi. Lovely. I just can't thank you enough for how you bring Geeta ji to our life. Thank you, Sadhaks, for being part of this Vivechan. Do come back next week for more and more and more. Have a beautiful, blessed and blissful weekend. Thank you so much. Jai Shri Krishna.
Thank you. Jai Shri Krishna.
जय श्री कृष्ण जी, जय श्री कृष्ण।
Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna.